This episode of NOLA Film Scene is brought to you by the Law Office of Jana McCaffery.
Hi, I'm Brigette Rose, aka Miss OoLaLa in the cosplay scene. I'm a cosplayer, radio host, and audio editor, and I am ecstatic to be on NOLA Film.
We are back, and ladies and gentlemen, I am so pleased to welcome Miss OoLaLa, my friend Brigette Rose, cosplayer extraordinaire, to the podcast. Hi, friend.
I don't know about all that, but thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, you don't know about the extraordinaire, but the friend part's still good, right?
Yes, absolutely. The extraordinaire part makes me feel, I don't know, like I should be famous. But thank you.
You're definitely famous in the cosplay circles.
I'm just your neighborhood-friendly cosplayer.
So
I don't know how Harley Quinned there, but
that's not a problem. It bubbles up in all of us. And that leads me to the question, because you're so into that, where did you start cosplay? What inspired you to get into that lifestyle?
Okay, so originally, before I had ever been to a convention in my life, I didn't even know anime cons existed. Like, I had no idea. Comic Cons, nothing, because Lafayette, Louisiana didn't have anything like that. I didn't really have any friends that were in bigger cities, just small town Lafayette girl. So in 2004, I hadn't timeline this. I was working at GameStop in the Acadiana Mall, and there were these guys that came in. Some of them are recognized as customers. I didn't know them very well. And they approached me at the counter and were like, "Hey, we think you would make a great live action anime girl." And I was like, "Wow, I love anime. Of course. Yes. Tell me more." And they're like, "Have you ever been to an anime convention?" I'm like, "No, what's that?" And they gave me the rundown of what it was. And I was like, "Yes, I'll do whatever." No, I didn't say that. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm totally interested. And they're like, yeah, so our idea is to start a convention in Lafayette, Louisiana. There's plenty of them in bigger cities, and we really want to grow it, and we want to have a live action anime girl. We'd ideally like to have two as our cosplay mascots, our representatives, the face of the convention, because as Jana Roos put it so eloquently, the draw is not going to be two dudes with beards or not beards or whatever. Honestly,
I'm
Like,
insulted.
I know, right? And I was like, I like you guys. And they're like, yeah, but our target demo are people who are looking at these characters, and you
Right.
look like that. We don't look like that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotcha. So they had this idea of doing space pilots, and it was going to be sci-fi themed. Mecha in particular was sort of their theme, MechaCon. So for that first year, actually before the first MechaCon, I started passing out flyers. I wore this cute little spandex suit. At the time, I thought it was great. But like now that I've learned how to sew and do more, I almost wish I could revisit those years and make something truly spectacular. Although in later years, they had some beautiful costumes commissioned for the mascots. And as I grew with the characters, so did the costumes. And eventually, I wanted to start making my own, not my own characters, but making characters from shows that weren't the original mascot character. And I wanted to start competing. So I worked with them for years and years and years, and kind of grew my own cosplay brand off of that, sort of just by all the people I met. And I started learning about new events and a lot of New Orleans stuff, a lot of Texas. Texas was at the time booming. They still are, but booming with conventions.
Right.
And wow, yeah, 2004. That
Oh,
puts
wow.
an age marker on there that I don't want to comment on. But yeah, that's how it all started, was working at GameStop in the mall and having people go, "You look like an anime character. We got this idea."
I heard Harley Quinn when you did that a minute ago, by the way. It came through.
Oh, it did? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just your neighborhood friendly. Yeah, I like combined like Spider-Man and Harley Quinn. Actually, I do have a cosplay of Spider-Quinn that I did like a long time ago
Nice.
at Wizard World.
Back in the day. Moment of silence for Wizard World.
Oh, I know. I love Wizard World. I love when I first found out about Wizard World, I was like, oh, wow, like Wizards of the Coast. It's like, no, it's Wizard World.
From the magazine.
Yeah. Stop trying to associate it.
From the magazine before your time.
Right. So yeah, like, before my time, I don't know. I feel like my time is, but yeah, maybe so.
It was the 90s mostly. By the year 2000, it was coming down. Magazines were on the way out.
I was here in the 90s, like a teenager.
Yeah, but you were just a baby. You just such a tiny little infant. I know.
Yeah, I am a 90s kid. I am a
Oh,
90s kid.
gotcha.
So yeah, I got to see all of the 90s. Right. But that was before, anime conventions and things like that. There was no streaming, and it was a lot
Right.
harder to get into it. You had to either, be rich and buy stuff at Suncoast, like DVDs, or
Yeah.
have a friend that already owned anime titles, or you watched Toonami after school.
Wow. Yeah.
This what kind of got me into it was Dragon Ball Z. I
Yeah.
know that sounds like such a basic answer, but back then that was what there was. There was Sailor Moon, and I wasn't really like super girly, although I appreciate the outfits and stuff. Like, it's beautiful. The Dragon Ball Z is actually what kind of got me in there. And then, like, of course, it was like Yu Yu Hakusho, which was a huge one for me. I love that. Got into Bleach. Oh, Cowboy Bebop. Like, Cowboy Bebop. That, I always loved comics too. So it was like the best of both worlds was have these events full of all this stuff. I grew up watching Batman cartoon, like huge
Yeah.
fan of that
Mhm.
original Batman animation. And then of course the X-Men, waking up in the morning, I wanted to be Mystique. so,
Yes. Yes.
so yeah, like that's where it all began, so to speak.
Very cool.
How many conventions do you go to a year?
It varies. So I would say before 2021, like 2 or 3, make 2 a year. But now it's somewhere north of, I don't know. I try to do one a month.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, I would have to be like super loaded to afford to go to every con just on my own accord. Most of the cons that I go to, I'll call them work-a-cons, are workcations. So I hear my cat in the background. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. We
That's
love all
okay.
the guests we can get.
Her
Yeah.
name is Sabine. She's fantastic, but she probably knocked down everything if she came in here. I try to do one a month. I work for voice actress Leah Clark, who voices characters such as Himiko Toga from My Hero Academia, Blair from Soul Eater, Mavis from Fairy Tail, and a whole bunch of other characters. So I work for her. I help work her table. So a lot of times I'll do one a month, and they're mostly her conventions, but I do also do guesting, which I'll present panels, I'll judge cosplay contests. In fact, earlier this year in January, I was a guest for Fan Expo New Orleans, and I was part of that one. I will be going this year to that one.
We are too.
12 a year. That's a lot. Maybe 13. I don't know. It depends. And then, okay,
I think Brian's jealous.
Oh, don't be
A little, but my time will come. I will
Well-
be.
Yeah.
I will be like our buddy Creek Wilson.
Yes,
People will start paying me for photo ops one day.
absolutely. That's the thing. People have this misconception of like, oh, wow, you go to all these cons, you're like this celeb. I'm like, no, I'm working a table, and it's not always for pleasure, and not everybody's going to come pouring it. Like, it's a labor of love, but it is nice to be recognized for doing something that you really enjoy. And so it feels like fun, even though you're also being paid to be there too. Then that helps fund the competitions. Like, for instance, Fan Expo, the upcoming one in NOLA, I won't be guesting there because I already did that the previous one. So I'll be competing. And my friend Lady Luna Lovelace and I like to do duo characters. I will be entering something. I don't want to spoil it, but
Not a problem.
we like to do those competitions as well. And we just made it into master level recently. Actually, everybody's like, oh, you've been on master. No, actually, I've been competing on intermediate level for years. And I just got my first best intermediate, which in the cosplay world means, oh, now you compete on master level. So now you're up against these crazy costumes that kind of terrify me. They're full of lights and like stilts sometimes. And I'm like, can I compete with that?
It's hardcore when you get to master level.
Yeah, it is.
Can you break that down for us?
Sure, absolutely.
Tell us how difficult the different levels are and what they entail.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Not that the rest isn't.
Oh, well, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, because a lot of times people are like, on what? There's levels. You think, oh, it's just a costume contest, right? Yes and no. There's craftsmanship, like craftsmanship cup style, where it is very much about the craft. You have to have made, depending on the level, you have to have made either 100%, 90%, 75%, depending on your skill levels. A lot of times on craftsmanship cosplay contests, you'll have a beginner level, which is called novice or beginner. And you've got your second tier, which is people who have already won best beginner, or maybe won a bunch of awards in beginner already, and they feel they're ready to move up. Then you enter what's called intermediate or journeyman. That's the nickname for that class, I guess. And that's once you've won, like I said, a few awards in beginner, or your skill level is higher than that of a beginner. It's kind of at your discretion. Once you get to master level, it's not good to just say, I think I'm a master, because then you're up against the best of the best of the best. It's a lot harder. So it's best to earn your way into master. That way you're not selling yourself short. It's not really so much like, oh, you're not good enough. It's more like, do you really want to compete on that level right now when you haven't earned the, feels good to win an award and to know that you're ready. So once you've gotten best intermediate, they kind of say, okay, look, unless you're entering a competition that's way bigger than the one you won that best intermediate at, it is courtesy to move up to master level to let other intermediates get those intermediate awards. And once you're on master level, it gets pretty crazy from there. So, and that's once you've won, like I said, a best intermediate award or have lots of judges awards and maybe a best intermediate or something. And for me, I want to say I have like 10 judges awards, which are a lower level award, 1 best intermediate and 2 best groups. So essentially me not competing on master until now makes a lot of sense, even though some people like, but you judge all the time. Judging, even if you are intermediate level, you know what master level looks like at that point. So
Okay.
and then there's also what's called exhibition or non-craftsmanship. And that's like, you don't go before the judges early in the morning to show all your stitches off. Like these are for people who don't make their cosplays, and they can at least go up and present it. And not every cosplay contest has a category for people who don't create, which in my opinion, those people deserve a chance in the spotlight too. So I always like whenever I see a contest has craftsmanship cup and then runway or whatever they choose to call their non-craftsmanship ones. And then of course there's skits, which are all performance based, and those are judged very differently. The costume, if you make it yourself, that is of course bonus points for your skit, but ultimately those are judged based on performance. So lots of different levels and different things you can do in contests. I hope that was a good explanation.
That was great.
That was great.
Thank you.
I'm formulating a couple of questions. I watch Big Bang Theory, sometimes when I need something in the background
Mm-hmm.
to do other things. And there's one episode in particular where they're talking about wearing costumes, and one of them says, "Gentlemen to the sewing machines," and they all, go run off to make their costumes. Tell me the difference of where you have to make your own. Do you have to be making your own to move up to the highest level?
Yes, absolutely. So that's another part where the rules are really important. So anytime anyone would like to enter a contest, it's important to read the rules, because I've been to contests that are smaller conventions and they're like, oh, we only have beginner and advanced. So there'll be like 2 categories if they know they're not going to get a ton of signups. But it'll say in the rules, like you have to have handmade 30% for beginner, for example. So that's like, okay, if you made some of your cosplay, but not half of it, you can still enter on beginner. Intermediate is going to be 50% usually, or more depending, sometimes less. It really depends on the con. If it's as big as Fan Expo, so they are very craftsmanship driven. If you don't know, they host the Grand Prix, not the New Orleans one, but the Dallas one, and also Mega Con, which is basically Fan Expo Orlando.
SuperCon.
Yeah, MegaCon. But technically it is a Fan Expo that's under their umbrella, but they do hold the Grand Prix, which is a summit style. I've competed, for instance, in the World Cosplay Summit way before I was ready. So I didn't plan anything. The Fan Expos are going to be the ones where it's going to be the larger percentage of something you built. But if you go to something a little smaller than that, SciFicon has a pretty prestigious contest as well, even though they are smaller than the Fan Expos. I'm trying to think of something small. It really just depends on the size of the con, but it'll say in the rules. And once you get to master, though, if you didn't make at least 90%, they don't expect you to cobble your own shoes. But if you can cobble shoes, that is going to impress the judges. I actually do a whole panel about how to impress the judges in prejudging. And that's one of the things where we had this girl, she forged a crown out of metal. And I don't mean she 3D printed it, because we had a Princess Peach and a Princess Rosalina, and they had these beautiful 3D printed crowns and these beautifully sewn dresses. And they were so amazing. And we thought they were going to be the best in show. And then the last person walks in, and it's this Queen of Hearts that she literally can forge metal and forge it well. And she cast a crown from silver or nickel or something, and hand bezeled gemstones. And I was like, all right, so you're just as good as these people, except you forged metal. So, no one expects you to cobble shoes or forge metal, but if you can, that can be what tips the scale in your favor. We've had entries where we got 2 characters with these beautiful wings, 2 different characters even, and one has wings that articulate and move, and the other one's stagnant. And we're like, All right, well, like sometimes it does come down to those little fine details.
Right.
It seems like it levels the playing field too, to keep somebody that's wealthy from going out and spending thousands of dollars on a stormtrooper outfit or an Iron Man suit
Absolutely.
where you have to make your own. I don't know. It seems like would keep it more level.
It does. And it's great. That's why I love when they have categories for people who aren't crafters. If they want to commission something beautiful and enter it, there should be a place for that because that's sort of the presentation of the character. How well do you embody that character on stage? And that comes into performance and your ability to wear something on stage and present it. And so, you're judged against people who have also done the same thing where they've purchased something and they've put a lot into how it fits or how they walk with it or what they do on stage. And that is very much a big part of cosplay to me too, because not everything I wear is something I made. I do have a lot of those cheap, quick Amazon cosplays that I love that look phenomenal. And people, oh, wow, how'd you make that? I'm like, oh, I didn't. But then that's also why I love wearing stuff I made is because then I get to rattle off and talk someone's ear off until they're sick of me and tell them about what glue I used to join my EVA foam to, like, and then by that time they're like, oh, okay, thanks.
Thanks. I just wanted a picture.
I just wanted it. And I was just like, but you asked me a question.
Yeah, I know.
Get excited.
I wanted to jump in here. We're kind of talking about cosplay competitions
Mhm.
and you being a featured cosplayer at the cons. And that's fantastic. But I don't want people to be put off by all this
Yeah.
technical jargon. So, like when I go, I don't really get into a full stormtrooper costume. I might
Mhm.
have a helmet. My thing is for photo ops, and I plus the photo. Like I brought ring props to meet the hobbits from Lord of the Rings.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, the
Something like
giant
that.
ring pop.
Well, it's small. You may have
Oh, I'm
that's
sorry.
something out of the bag. No, because that it also lead us into we're gonna drop this episode right before the next Fan Expo, New Orleans, January 2025.
Yes.
Bridget will be there. I will be there. And basically all this is getting me to I found my people. I found my tribe in a NOLA Comic Con because I can talk to regular New Orleans people and make a Saints joke, make a New Orleans joke, and they laugh, but they don't always get the comic book references. And then there's comic
Yeah.
book people who you meet who don't understand NOLA. So you kind of
Mhm.
have to work and explain. But when I walked into Comic-Con and I said something and people started falling out, I was like, I'm home.
These are
You
my
get out of
people.
me.
Yeah, tribe is a
Yeah.
very accurate word.
So if you've ever thought about this, it doesn't have to be New Orleans, of course. You love
Mhm.
Spider-Man. You don't even have to dress up. I urge people to go check it out at least once, maybe twice.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of fun. You'll find things to do. I love taking pictures and selfies. Bridget can say that because I'm bugging her every day because she wears a different costume every day.
Yes,
And we do
bug me
silly poses. You're gonna have fun at these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'll be there too.
Yeah, and I'll be there on stage, hopefully.
Brian and I got invited to be on a panel. Another podcaster has a panel on Friday. So that's a first for me. So we're going to be on a panel.
Yeah.
Talking about movies.
Awesome, kicking off the con the right way.
Yeah. It's our first con.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm totally gonna check out the panel, like, I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
And last year I got my first press pass,
Mhm.
but I didn't show up early, so I didn't get any interviews with people.
Aw,
I'm
man.
gonna try it again. I can't wait to meet Grey Delisle. 'Cause if
Mhm.
you see my videos, I like throwing voices with the voice actors.
Oh, awesome. I'm a huge horror fan too, by the way. I don't know if you're into Terrifier, but I'm still like this happened, like, I don't know, like, this summer. I made the cosplay from Terrifier 2 of Sienna Shaw. She's the final girl, and she's got this armor. So she's like a cosplayer in the movie. Like, she's making her cosplay. So I'm like, I need to make that. And I got invited to a horror convention, which never happens for me. It's always anime or Comic-Cons. Because horror cosplay is a little bit different. Because a lot of times it's
Yeah.
clothes and it's a lot of blood, but it's not, like, oh, you built this thing, because there's not as many opportunities for that. So I made this cosplay, and when I put it on my Instagram, David Howard Thornton, aka Art the Clown, shared it. And so did Lauren Lavera, the actress who plays the character that I made the costume of. And I'm still like, and I want to meet them so badly. I found out they're going to be at a horror convention in Texas coming up. So I will be
Nice.
at that one, and I want to meet them so bad.
Very cool.
Wow. That's cool.
That is exciting, meeting all the people that inspire us.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions. You mentioned audio editing. I don't want to completely leave the cosplay stuff behind. We'll circle back to it. I wanted to ask about your radio work. How'd you get into that and what's that like? And is it challenging to balance that with the cosplay and conventions.
We need to take a quick break to pay the bills. Have you been injured through someone else's negligence? New Orleans-based actor Jana McCaffery has been practicing law in Louisiana since 1999, specializing in personal injury since 2008. Jana takes helping others very seriously, so if you've been injured, she's offering a free consultation and a reduced fee to fellow members of the Louisiana film industry. She's committed to helping the injured, and she will handle your case with professionalism and determination from start to finish. Information in the description below. Now let's get back to the episode.
Oh, that's a fun question. I like that. Yeah, I always hesitate to even talk about radio because, like, I don't, people that are in radio, like, that are only like that's their focus, like they just think it's like the whole world. And I'm like, that's cool, but like, don't be one of those like DJs, like, don't be that guy or girl or whatever. So I'm always like, yeah, I do radio. But if no one's interested, I don't go. So on this format, and I've worked in this format. Gosh, I started radio it was in the early after 2010. It was after college. I went, oh my God, I changed my concentration in college so much. I was a visual arts major, which I should tell you.
That makes sense.
I went from, animation, but then like rigging the polygons to the skeletons. I was bad at that because math. And from there, I went print media and photography and didn't see any job opportunities with that. And my advisor was like, you should try media. At the time, that's what it was called. And it was basically audio, video editing and lighting and basically not really like radio, but working well with TV and other broadcasts. So I had a background in that. I was great with audio and video editing. It's just part of what I do now too, aside from the radio station. Around 2012-ish, they had a model search and it was for a gun shop, like a shooting range, just Barney's gun range. And I was like, oh, they want kind of like alt models. Okay, I can do that. Cause I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not sure what to call that, but I'm more, I'm a little alty. Like I'm not good at being like a princess necessarily, unless it's a cosplay princess. I was like, okay, yeah, I can model guns. I like guns. I've been to a gun range before. It's fine. I didn't get picked as like the top 3 that they chose, but I gave the best interview. They loved my interview so much. It was the radio station that was hosting it. They were partnered with that gun range. And the morning show guy was like, you gave a great interview. Have you ever done broadcasts? I was like, no, but I mean, maybe. I mean, I could. He's like, I have a show in mind for you. It's that have this intern that we're about to hire. We're going to do a show. It's kind of raunchy. Are you okay with raunchy? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. It's like, yeah, it's called Two Hot Chicks on a Saturday Night. And it's going to be at night on Saturdays. And so we're going to talk about sex, except in a way that's like, you can get by with the FCC rules. So we're going to have creative language. And I was like, I can do that. Because he, I guess, saw that I played with language a lot and in our interviews that we had with the models. So he was like, I think you'd be great. I did that for a while. I was Miss OoLaLa. That was where the name, he said, choose a radio name. You can't be Brigette because it's a raunchy show. I don't want to do that to you. So I chose Miss OoLaLa based on the character OoLaLa from Space Channel 5 on the Dreamcast. Super obscure. No one will know. No one will. And I spelled it differently, so it would be unique. But ultimately, I stole her name because she was a forgotten Sega character. We did things like the super freaky shot of the night. We would pretend to mix shots or drinks in the studio and give the recipes out. We talked about relationship advice, but it was usually like raunchy relationship advice. Anyway, from there, I ended up on middays for a while. I was the morning show co-host, board op. I excelled with audio, and then I became production assistant. And they were like, wow, you make great commercials. I started getting really creative with that. I submitted to the Addies, which is submit a commercial and you might win something kind of thing. Kind of like a LAB award, like a broadcaster award type thing. I didn't win. But from there, I just worked at different radio stations. I was a brand manager for a few different stations, mostly in rock format. I guess it goes without saying that format for Two Hot Chicks on a Saturday Night was active rock, like rock and metal.
Yeah.
I did pop for a while, but like when you don't know the difference between Britney Spears and like Christina Aguilera, people start to notice. So I was like, please put me back where we have Mudvayne or something. I need Pantera. Like, we got to fix this. So I ended up working in rock again, which currently I'm on Planet Radio 106.7 in Lafayette. And I also do freelance commercials. Like I do voiceover. I do production, even when it's not my voice. I'll produce commercials for companies. I do podcast editing. Audio podcast editing and like host it on like Buzzsprout and schedule and do the little, stuff like that. I love mix. One of these days I'd like to be audio engineer, mix at maybe Crunchyroll. Hey, Crunchy, if you're listening. No, just kidding.
Hey, Crunchy.
Hey, Crunchy, come over here. I just love the world of audio and being a host. Afternoons, for the most part, my career in radio has taken me through afternoons. Most people don't understand is when you have an on-air shift nowadays, and like it's not the 90s anymore, so nobody's really live. Like sometimes they're live. They say they're live, but a lot of stuff has gone remote. The radio industry has turned into a bunch of people like me who have, like a Rodecaster Pro 2 and an XLR mic. I've got Shure, and I love Shure. Fayar Bay.
Yep.
I broadcast from home. I do my afternoon show from home, actually. Kind of
Wow.
cool. I don't have to go anywhere for that.
That was going to be the next question I had. Did that go remote?
Yes.
I kind of thought maybe it did. I'd heard some people do that. That's cool.
In larger markets like Dallas and New York, I mean, there's a lot of much bigger markets where they do have live hosts. And then sometimes they'll do like radiothons where they will go live that day and they'll be live the whole time. I used to do simulated live where I would record some of it. I'd be live for an hour and take some requests. Back when I worked at KSMB in Lafayette, is the pop station I was talking about, we had this all live. It was just like one continuous mix of music by a DJ, and we would just pop in and out, and you'd have to just watch the time and know how much time you had to talk. And I'd take callers on the air or like air them back over the air. You can't put them live. Like that's dangerous. People say some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it kind of works out with cosplay in a way. We host a lot of things. A lot of times they'll put us on stage to announce bands and things like that. And it's really helped with, I find, my stage presence when you have to announce at Festival International and randomly get a ton of people. When you get up on stage for cosplay, it just seems like whatever at that point because you've been through the scary part. And then also without my cosplay for me is sort of like wearing a mask. Like when I have to be Brigette Rose on the stage and be me and do it, it feels weird. But it's almost like the persona takes over. Like Miss OoLaLa is a character of her own when I host cosplay things. Brigette Rose is even a character. Bridget is the character. Like I'm always kind of a character. Once I got into radio, I realized how cosplay could help me become a character on the air. So do kind of work out. I've even hosted things in cosplay for the radio station because people were like, oh, you should cosplay for that. Like when you're in a smaller market, people get to know you and they know what you do outside of it. Like they'll know what stations I was on before and they'll be like, oh, if it isn't Miss Radio Lafayette over here. And I'm like, nope, I'm on planet now. A lot of times it brings something special to it. They had a band who did a Halloween show that Planet Radio hosted. And the band and I were talking and I was like, do you want me to help host the costume contest? I use quote fingers because it's not a cosplay contest where you're making things, but maybe people will, you know? And I was like, hey, I can promote it through my cosplay socials because I have a lot of local people that might go, oh, there's costume things happening and maybe it'll pull some people. And of course the band was like, yes. Now like, oh, we've seen all your cosplays. Oh, can you wear the Terrifier one? And I was like, absolutely. It does enhance. It helps me stand out, I guess, from the other broadcasters, you know, the other DJs that don't do it. I feel like female broadcasters, especially in rock, are just not as common. In fact, I was a production director for a long time, which is the person that makes all the commercials for the cluster. I felt like there were no females hardly that did that either. So it's an interesting combination, but it has helped me to both stand out and get comfortable with being Bridget in front of people because I'm actually kind of shy, like outside of personas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm totally shy. Can you tell? Like,
I can relate because I am big. I am out there. I'm talking to everybody and I'll shut down and not be able to control it.
yeah.
Even our social batteries drain.
Yeah, after a while, I'll notice I'll be like, I need to hide.
Yeah.
Or like if I have to leave like a party or like if I want to leave a party early. So that's part of my like social, like I've run out and I don't want to hug everyone on the way out because at this point I've reached my max social battery limit and it is depleted. So I have to go recharge and then come back.
Totally. I have a compunction to shake hands and say goodbye to everybody, which has gotten me in trouble with my wife when she was ready to go a few times. Like, okay, hour later, I'm still saying goodbye. Like, oh crap, I didn't realize.
That's the
Sorry.
Cajun goodbye, man.
Yeah. And for me, since I'm not Cajun, that's a yak goodbye.
A yak?
Yat,
Yat.
Y-A-T, like New Orleans.
That's a
where
New
yat.
Orleans thing. Like
Yeah.
people that are real loud, they're yats. Hey, where
Wow.
you at?
Oh,
Where you
and that's
at?
the New Orleans word?
Yeah.
Okay.
YAT, where you at?
Yat. Oh, where yat? Where yat?
Where you
How you
at?
mom and them?
Yeah.
Hey, how's your
How
mom
you
and
mom
them?
and them? How they doing?
I'm going
Yeah.
to
Making
groceries. I'm
groceries.
going to the parish.
People say, oh, Cajuns in New Orleans. I'm like, I mean, no.
No.
But if you're not from
No.
here, you just think that's where Cajun
Right.
like
Yeah.
Remy LeBeau, they're like, "Oh, Cajun." I'm like, "Well, that's a south of NOLA accent specifically." And they're like,
Yeah.
"What? That's Cajun." I'm like, "No, no, no. South of Lafayette is Cajun. That's like Vermilion Parish, you know,
Yeah.
Parish. Yeah, gotta have that rice and gravy." Oh, I butchered that. I'm from Lafayette City, so I mimic not too well. Try my best. The
Okay.
That's okay.
yats. You're a yat.
Well, sure, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We all love the Cajun. We love the bayou.
Oh, yeah.
I just had some gator last night. It was Chinese gator, can you believe?
Ooh, ooh, bah.
This much gator, that much jalapeno. Who know?
Ooh, bah. Y'all don't even put all that seasoning in there. Yeah, we eat spicy food here. It's like you go to New Orleans, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna give me some of that
Yeah,
Tony's in there.
I
I need
can't. I can't do
some
spicy.
cayenne."
I do know somebody, his friends said, "Oh, you're going back to New Orleans. Can you pick me up some of that tunica cherry?" And he goes, Tony Satchery's.
Tony
That's
Satchery.
how badly they
Man.
mispronounced it. Tunica cherry.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, in New Orleans, like, there's even different pronunciations for things too, but, like, tuna cacheri, I don't think I've ever where was your friend from? I'm curious now.
It's a friend of a friend, and I think they were a little bit up north.
Up north.
Yeah.
Oh, no, so they
Let's
were
say Midwest.
that's like
I'm
when you see
dying.
me
I'm dying. It took me a second to realize what you were saying, and
I
once it hit me, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's
I'm
like
sorry.
it's like whenever, like, we would get, like a teacher, like, growing up, you get a teacher from, like, somewhere totally different, and they come down here, and they're like, "Where's Justin Thigh Bodiacs?" And I was like, "Huh?" You know, or, okay, "Oh, Thibodeau, okay, yeah." Or, like, Trahan.
Mm.
Trahan? Oh, Trahan? Okay, well, y'all might say I think y'all say do y'all say Trahan? Trahan or Trahan?
Trahan
Trahan.
sounds more familiar, but I don't think I've known many Trahans.
Trahan.
Trahan. Here
Trahan.
is Trahan.
I
Like,
Yeah.
got you. It's definitely not that for me. But also, I'm not pure New Orleans.
gotcha,
I'm
yeah.
suburbs. My dad was uptown when he was growing up, and my mother was from Maine.
Okay.
So I'm all kind of mixed.
Oh, wow. My parents are from here. From St. Landry Parish. It's like
Mm.
Opelousas
Yeah.
area. Cajun-ish, Cajun
Yeah.
enough.
Cajun
Oh, yeah.
adjacent.
Yeah, like and country too, like from the deep country, the bayou specifically. My dad grew up on the bayou, so
Yeah.
get all that good bayou speak. And yeah, and our gumbo does not have okra, sir. I'm just letting you know. Don't put
Yeah.
tomatoes in my gumbo.
I'm
Yeah.
with you
I
on
agree.
tomatoes, but I like the okra. I don't like
I
okra by
don't.
itself.
I don't.
I gotcha. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and, I never put that other stuff in it. I forget. Filet?
Filet?
Never use that. Mm-mm. No, just raw. Just have it raw. Not
And
really.
you don't mix your seafood in your meats in your gumbo, do you?
No, no. If it is chicken and sausage, it's chicken and sausage. If it's seafood, then it's crab and shrimp.
Mhm.
I don't know what else people might put in there, but that's the
I
2.
don't even think they put
Yeah.
crawfish in it. And
No, we don't do no. That's
Mm-mm.
not crawfish is for others. That's for etouffee.
the
That's
last
right.
gumbo question,
Yeah.
where's the potato salad go?
Where does the potato oh, ooh, so, yeah, you get some potato salad and you spoon it. Now, you
Put
don't
it
just
in
throw
there.
it in the gumbo because that's weird. You take it in
Yeah.
the spoon, and it's cold, and then you dip it in the gumbo and let that gumbo kinda seep around it, and then you take a
Yep.
so good.
Just a
That's how you're
little
supposed to
flavor.
get it. Yeah.
There's a debate, folks, if you're listening, not from around here. Like we say, gumbo, tomatoes or not. I don't even know who puts the tomato in, so I don't know where the divide is. But there's a new thing of scoop of potato salad and you leave it in the gumbo. And to me, it's on the side. I'm with you. You want to flavor it a little bit, but
After
It'll
that's
dissolve
kind
too
of a
much.
after thing. Yeah.
I like when you get that kinda cold with the hot around it, kinda like getting an iced coffee, you know how it's got that, ooh, cold but hot sensation? I like the same principle, I think. I mean, at least that's how we do it here. I could be wrong, somebody might be like,
yeah.
"No, throw that
And
in
your
there."
way is your way. There's nothing wrong with that. So
Yeah, it's
your
perfect.
grandma didn't make it. I don't want it.
Mm-mm, my mom didn't do it like that. No, I don't want it like that.
Oh, and dirty rice. Don't forget about the
Mm,
dirty rice.
dirty
I've
rice.
got some relatives that are from over that way that were Cajun,
Hmm.
Mm,
Cajun, and they would do the whole spread, dirty rice, and yeah.
oh, yeah,
Oh, I
cornbread.
thought you were against it. I'm for it. That's why I didn't know which way you were
Yeah,
going.
and my mom would walk through the kitchen, and she knew there were some things that I just wouldn't do if I knew what was in it, and she'd say, "Okay, that pot is okay. Stay away from that one," because they would they would put everything in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of warning sometimes growing up. I'd be like a bit into what's called yams. It's just sweet potatoes, I guess. I don't know. I think a real yam, like what people call yams, isn't even yams, but that, like, thought it was orange. I thought it was carrots, and I still don't like sweet potatoes. I think I was traumatized.
I was going to hit us with one. Have you seen they put the seasoning on the outside of the crawfish?
So,
So they
like,
boil it, and there's
yeah.
not a lot of seasoning in the boil. And then to give you the spices, they dust the outside.
Well, you're not going to eat the shell.
You're not. I
Oh,
guess
what's
you're supposed
that?
to lick it off or something. It's like
Ah,
Lick a crawfish. Like,
I don't know what they mean, what they want to do with it.
is that
psycho.
who's doing that? Yet
I saw it for a
Northerners?
fancy restaurant in New York, like they were on on
Oh,
social media.
that explains
And
it.
there are people who dust their crawfish.
Okay. But no, you got to boil it in the seasonings, in the crab boil. Like
Crab
that.
boil, yeah.
Zatarans makes a great one. It's liquid. You
Yeah.
just pour it in there.
Pour it
Yeah.
right in.
The big bags of it too, like Zatarans, like, you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
I totally agree.
Wow. Yeah, no, we don't just dust unflavored crawfish with flavorings
All right. So circle back
to cosplay.
to cosplay. Fan Expo New Orleans, January 10th, 11th, and 12th. Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know where your table is going to be?
Actually, I will not have a booth this time. So Fan Expo, they're very good about not doing repeat cosplay guests. And it kind of doesn't really serve the convention if you think about it. So like they had these 5 guests in 2024. 2025, they're going to have 5 different guests. Not only does it keep it fair for competitors, so you're not getting judged by the same person over and over or same group of people, but also, you know, you're not bringing in new viewers. Well, you will from other people, but your cosplayers you're not changing your reach, I guess I should say, as far as people who, like, for instance, this year, my good friend Astro Lens, that's with like 3 Z's, they are a cosplay guest this year. They had guested 2 years ago. So, like, you can do non-consecutive years. So I'm not guesting this time, but that gives me an opportunity to compete. So I will not have a table, but I will probably be showing up at Astro Lens's table quite a bit because that's my friend. And I'm so proud of them. They actually run a lot of things behind the scenes at other conventions, like running cosplay contests and organizing the awards and guests and stuff. I love that they still take time out for an opportunity to shine as a cosplayer, not just an organizer. So shout out Astro Lens. If you're looking at cosplay tables, go pay them a visit. Check out their prints.
And Kettlebriar
And
Workshop.
Kettlebriar, I love John. Oh my God. That's right. Because like he just guested at GeekCon. I saw him there. I was so excited. He's like, I can't tell anybody, but I'm going to be getting, it's like, I knew beforehand, but that's right. It's all been announced. I'm so proud of him too. He's been winning like best in shows and like master awards, and it's going to be really exciting. I will be bugging him at his table too. So yeah, Astro Lens, Kettlebriar's Workshop. I don't remember the other cosplay guests there, but I feel like there's some people that I'm not familiar with, so I'm pretty excited to get in front of them for the judging process because I love a combination of people that I know and respect in the community judging my outfits, my cosplays that I've put together, and vice versa. For example, whenever Kettlebriar, John had won, that was Louisiana Comic-Con in Lafayette. I was one of the judges for that, and then so now I'm entering one that he'll be judging as well. It's kind of this fun like circle of life thing where just like I respect you and I am glad that you're judging because I know that you know what to look for because that's what I look for. It's an honor to be judged by those that you respect and that you admire their work. And the mayor of Halloween Town.
I was going to bring it up.
I was going to say, you've seen that, right? Everyone's seen that. I want to say it was shared by
Chris Sarandon.
Yeah.
He saw him at 2 GeekCons ago.
Mm-hmm.
And last Fan Expo, Danny Trejo's people. Danny's at his table.
Mm-hmm.
And the people come running up to John and say, you need to stop. Somebody wants to take a picture. Danny Trejo came over and, oh man, I love to describe it to people. I made before Christmas, the mayor of Halloween Town with the 2 faces. It's not a costume. It's almost like John's inside of a float.
It's a structure. Like it's a giant prop is what it is. But it's impressive.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
In the Star Wars world, the bad guys, the Sith, are Darth something. So John had a Darth, and I can't remember the name, but he's walking around with his red lightsaber, and he had a case, and it was baby Grogu in Carbonite.
Carbonite. Oh.
Carbonite, like, it was, because the baby's like, ah. I was like, oh, that's the best.
Why did you carbonite the baby?
He escaped after the con, I'm sure, but
Yeah, true. Yeah.
John's got that good mind for that cosplay.
He does. Speaking of, like, one of the really cool things about guesting and like John and Lynn and all, they're going to have access to that green room and you will run into the most exciting people. Danny Trejo, for example, in the green room, I think it was at Fan Expo. It was one of the guesting ones where I had green room access. And you go in there and it's not just cosplay. cosplay. Like it's all the guests can go. Actually, a rapport with Jason Mewes at this point because I always end up in the green room with him.
Yeah.
At New York Comic Con, actually, I kept running into him at the bathroom and he was like, we're on the same bathroom schedule. He talked about his little like motorized suitcase that he had
Yes.
and then Danny Trejo, it was like we were both going for the same thing in the green room for food. And I was like, no, you. And he's like, no, you. And I'm like, but you're Danny Trejo. And he's like, it doesn't matter. Ladies first. I was like, okay, fine. But I felt like so awkward. I was like, don't perceive me. Oh, God.
TJ would have to have his hand clamped around my mouth like, don't give out the podcast card. I'm
Don't do
gonna
it.
do it. I'm going to tell everybody.
It's like, don't be weird. Don't be weird.
I'll be weird. I'll be weird.
Right. It gets easier the more that I do because working with Leah Clark, circling back to that, she's a voice actress. She always has access to the green room. So a lot of times me and her assistant haven't been in that part of it as long. And we're like, oh my God, do you see it? Don't look. It's Elizabeth Olsen, and stuff like that. I just have to. Yeah, she was in the same room as me. And I didn't know what to do with myself. Same thing with Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows. I was like, don't look too hard. Sometimes they come up to you. John Boyega, Finn from Star Wars, was like, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? And I was like, absolutely. I was excited because I thought he knew the character. I was Himiko Toga from My Hero, which if you don't know, she's got buns, like blonde buns, but they're spiky and she's got fangs in. And she does wear a schoolgirl outfit under her accessories.
Yeah.
When he saw me, I didn't have all the accessories. It was just the schoolgirl outfit and and he's like, oh, I got a picture with Sailor Moon. And I was like, yep, sure, thanks. He's like, your Sailor Moon's awesome. And I was like, thank you. And I was like, oh, well, it's fine. I'm Sailor Moon or it's John Boyega. That's fine. He can call me whatever. He
Yeah,
wants to
totally.
call me.
I mean, like, you can have one if I can have one and I can post it.
Yeah, I did. Mine came out blurry. So I
Mm.
don't know. I think I posted it in my story, but yeah, I was like, oh man. I was like, can I have one too? Sometimes it's exciting when they get excited.
That's
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I believe we're out of time.
Okay. Well, thanks
I
for
don't want to go.
I know. I can talk people's ear off. Like I'm a motor mouth. I'm undiagnosed ADHD. I only know that because I have friends that work in mental health and they're like, you need to get me.
They're like, this
Like,
what you
are you
is.
sure I'm ADHD? They're like, take this test. And I'm like, oh, it says I am. Let me take it again. They're like, stop. Just stop. Just admit it.
I think I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's fine. It's a choice, a life choice.
It's a new term for an artist. You got to be flighty.
I'm just artistic.
That's right.
Inclined, artistically inclined. It means I have time blindness. So that's why I was late.
Well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but we're all good. We understand.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
just
good.
glad you
Yeah.
But
me.
Do you have any socials that you want to share?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm on Instagram for the most part. That's my favorite. You can find me at miss.oolala. That's MISS period OOLALA. You can pretty much type that in on Facebook and it'll pop up. I think it's Miss OoLaLa cosplay with some spaces in the ooh and la la's because Facebook, I don't know, it made me do it that way. I forget why. I have a
Facebook's
TikTok
weird.
and I'll use it. I think that's all my socials. Yeah, pretty much Instagram is my fave though. So
That's my fave too, because it's pictures.
it's so easy and there's
Mhm.
not group pages and fan pages and event just give me a page.
Yeah.
Simple, please. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Miss OoLaLa, for joining us. And we'll see everyone this weekend